Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, good morning. If your man acting up or your woman losing she mind, right we don't hide till we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, good morning. If your man acting up or your woman losing she mind, right we don't hide till we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, good morning. If your man acting up or your woman losing she mind,
Or whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity, Western Union, moving money for better.
The views expressed in the following program aren't necessarily those of Power 95.
in the ladies' room we talk it straight. Love, drama, heartbreak and fate. No pretense here, we tell it true.
'Cause the ladies' room is made for you.
Hosted by Aruna, sweet voice, and all the real talk you can handle. Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, good morning. If your man acting up or your woman losing she mind, right we don't hide till we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. In the ladies' room we talk it straight. Love, drama, heartbreak and fate. No pretense here, we tell it true.
'Cause the ladies' room is made for you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the room. It is Monday, February 9th. And of course, it is an absolute pleasure to be back with you, to have you in the room once again. And this morning, it's a serious morning. So forgive me today if I don't do, the normal pleasantries, and because I really want to utilize every minute I've got. You know how quickly time flies. All right. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so forgive me if I don't do the usual pleasantries. Like I said, I really want to have this conversation this morning and get to it as quickly as we can, and use every minute, every second that we have. But I still have to take time out and say thank you so much to our friends at Beacon Insurance, St. Augustine Medical Services, Land Store, Western Union. Thank you so very much for powering up our morning yet again. And to every one of you in the room, please, if at no other time you share the live, I'm begging, asking, pleading that you do so today. And I'm also begging and pleading that more of our men join us in the ladies' room today. All right? If you're on Facebook, good morning. If you are on YouTube, good morning. If you're listening on viewing on TikTok, good morning. If you are listening via radio 95.1, 95.3, or you are listening via the Power app, thank you so very much for being here. And like I said, we have a lot to talk about this morning, and I'm sure lots of you feel the same way I do. And like I said, I'd really appreciate if more of our men would join us in the room this morning, because every time something happens, it seems as though women are always the one raising their voices loudly, right? And in instances like this, I would love to have more men stand up firmly and say, hey, this isn't who we are. We do not support this. We do not condone this. And to speak up loudly so other men, our brothers, uncles, cousins, nephews, whatever the case might be, will get the message that this is something you are against totally. But by you staying silent, it's not helping the cause, it's not helping the situation, right? So before we get on, I just want to take the time out again to extend condolences to the family of this young lady whose life was taken on Friday evening, whose life was snatched. She was not ill. She was not laying on a hospital bed. In fact, she was preparing to help those on a hospital bed as a nurse. Alejandra Lett was taken, and today our hearts are heavy as we mourn the tragic loss of a young life taken too soon. And I want to again extend condolences to her family, friends, all who loved her, all who knew her, the community. And something like this, it's not a community, it's not a village something. It is a Grenada thing. It is something we all have to join our hearts and hands and our voices. And I know there are some who are jaded by this, and some who are saying, you know what, we are tired every time something happens. We talk about it for 2 days and then we go on about our business, and it's whatever for the next, and then something else comes up again, and we jump on that. Yeah? So I would really, really wish that we would not just be the 2-day talk, the 3-day talk, the 4-day talk. I'm seeing so many other people adding their voices to it. I really hope and pray it will not be a 2-day conversation. No one deserves to have their life taken in that manner. Nobody. Whether you're good, bad, ugly, indifferent, does not matter. No one deserves this. And again, like I said, the silence among our men, it is deafening. There are few of you who have publicly made your statements, and I applaud you for that. But there are way more of you who could stand and use your platforms, use your voices, and say, hey, let us take the lead on this one. Women, stay back. We got this. We want to take the charge. We want to lead the charge. We want to do the marching. We want to do going up to Parliament. Let's do this. And we want you guys to join us, but we will take lead. Far too often we have situations like this, and it's always women. Imagine it's done to us, and we are still the ones having to march, having to make status, do programs, and y'all are silent. But it is the men who are the perpetrators in this instance. Why can't your voices be as loud as ours? Why can't you all join us and say, we got this? Let us lead the charge on this. There are quite a few of that I'm extremely disappointed in because it's like neither here nor there, and it's easy to life continues. But like I said, for a lot of people, it wouldn't matter until it hits home. It's close to home. It's a family member. It is someone closer and dear to you. And like my heading said, the music loud? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Oops, I didn't turn it off. Sorry. I wasn't even reading the comments. I got it now. All right. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't turn down the stream. It's better now, right? It should be better now. I turned it off. I completely forgot about it. We good now? Y'all answer me quick now. Okay, all right. So yeah. All right, better. So, like I said, I want to take a look at this from a different angle this morning. And like my heading said, enough is enough. The young man, the system, our country, enough is enough. I know by end of day today, the shock will be worn off. The headlines have settled. Social media posts are slowing down. But a family is still broken. A young woman is still dead. And the rest of us are expected to just, move on. I refuse to do that today. I refuse to just move on today. On top of that, because what happened was not random, it was not unavoidable, and it was not unforeseeable. This was violence enabled by failure, silence, and a system that keeps reacting after women are dead instead of preventing it before. And this morning, I want to speak plainly. No cushioning, no political politeness, no massaging nobody's feelings or being apologetic if you're offended. If you're offended, that means you're supposed to be offended. And especially to young men and boys. Let me start here because people get defensive fast. Let me just start here. And that's the only... This is not about hating men. This is not about blaming every man. And this is not about demonizing masculinity. That is why I made a call for men to lead the charge, to let it be known, clear as day, that all men aren't like this, and you do not support this. But let me also be clear. Men are overwhelmingly the ones killing women. Pretending otherwise does not protect anyone. And if you are uncomfortable hearing that, you're going to have to sit with that discomfort, because women live with fear every single day. And how do I know that? From the countless messages that I have in my inbox since that incident occurred on Saturday. Let me read a little bit of one, which says, "Afternoon. I did not die from my attacker. I was able to get away, and I'm still traumatized from that blade that passed over my neck and the drag he dragged me up. And the way he dragged me. Up to this day, I'm in therapy because he was wearing a mask and nothing was done about it." She went on to thank a lady who heard her bawling and screaming and who turned on the lights. And that is how she was saved, by a woman hearing the screaming and turning on her lights. And at this juncture, she's afraid to go anywhere. And even when she travels, she says, the trauma is even worse than being here. So the countless women, and this is my inbox, one of many, who are afraid to speak out because we have a way of victimizing the victims and making them feel worse and making it seem as though, and it just feels sometimes like the perpetrators, they get a pass and we make excuses for them. We make excuses for them instead of laying the blame where it should be laid, at the hands of these monsters. To the men in the audience listening today, violence against women does not begin with murder. It begins with entitlement. The belief that someone owes you attention, that rejection is disrespect, that control equals love, that anger is power. It begins when nobody ever corrects you. When your friends hype your worst instincts. And when society laughs it off as boys being boys. And then one day it escalates. And let me also say something that needs to be said. If you cannot hear no without rage, you are dangerous. If you feel disrespected because a woman sets boundaries, you are not ready for a relationship. If your temper controls you, then you are not in control. And that is not strength. That is a failure of emotional discipline. And yes, one might say many of you were never taught better. But adulthood means responsibility, not excuses. And I'm tired of the excuses. I'm tired of the why, the could, and the should. And it's like everything is made in cement and it cannot undo it. You can undo cement. If you want to break down a building, you break it down. So why are we acting as though things that probably were there before we can't change now and it will take so much to change it and fix it? How in the name of the good Lord above, someone who has been convicted 19 times, same set of crimes, rape, violence, and it is said in the court docs that even though this person had therapy, counseling, whatever, that person does not show signs of being rehabilitated, does not show signs that, this is working. But yet still, that person is let loose in our communities. And what I want us to be making noise for are the ones responsible for letting loose a monster back into a society that he was locked up from. Let back with no warning, just let loose. Nobody's following up. Where are you? What's your movements? Nothing, nada, zilch. How do you tell a family, okay, well, this person was incarcerated, but he was even let go before his time? And nobody saw it fit to inform us. Nobody saw it fit to inform us. Here we are today, back at a place that I swore after that incident in Carriacou we wouldn't have to go back to with that young lady, that young child. There are so many names, and what is the name of, I can't remember the name of the page that tagged me, and asking people to list the names of women whose lives have been taken by men. And the list is long. For a small country like ours, the list is way too long. I never thought in February 2026 will be here this Monday speaking on. I thought today, Monday, we'll come here, we talk about independence, who we oiled on, what we did, who oiled on was white, da, 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 da. Not to come here and have this conversation again. And let's talk about the part that people don't like to touch. This young woman was killed by, and there's even no allegedly and no like legal jargons. You have to go to court and go. BS. A former convict. That matters. And not because people cannot be rehabilitated, but because public safety cannot be treated like an afterthought. Rehabilitation without monitoring is negligence. Release without accountability is reckless. And us pretending risk disappears because time has passed is deadly. If someone has a history of violent behavior, the system has a duty, not a suggestion, a duty to protect the public. And right now, that duty failed. If someone has a history of violent behavior, which includes rape, a history of violent behavior, the system has a duty, not a suggestion, a duty to protect us, protect women, protect children, protect the public. And y'all fail miserably. But let me also be clear, because this is not only a justice system problem that continues to plague us, and it doesn't necessarily mean someone has to die, but there are too many women. If you were to go to court, when their sizes are called, the list for sexual offenses is way longer than any other crime. The list for sexual offenses, rape, molestation, incest, you name it. And I'm not sure what it's going to take again to prove that we have a national problem. Because we've gotten to a place where we normalize violence until it explodes. We excuse warning signs, we silence victims, we shame women for speaking up, we don't play threats until they turn fatal. A woman goes to the police, I'm in an abusive situation, blah, blah, blah. What you do? Go back in the house, same person come back again, and then we start acting busy when it turns fatal. And then after the funeral, or when it happens, we post hashtags, express sympathy, outrage, and then we keep going. This has to stop. This person calling, I'm not sure if I can get you through.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Is possible to speak to Aruna, please?
You're speaking your life.
Hi, how are you?
I am.
So sad. I'm just calling to give you my part of this same incident with the gentleman. I'm supposed to be one of the victims. I'm his
What?
sister, I'm his bigger sister. Yeah, I'm his bigger sister. I get no justice when he tried to rape my daughter the first time. I had a hard time with him for years.
Wait. Start over. The gentleman in question is what to you?
My brother?
He's your brother. And
Yeah. I had a hard time with him for years.
he raped your daughter?
Tried to rape her many times. I get no satisfaction from the court. He knocked me out in the court. I was on conscience a couple of years ago, right in front of the magistrate. And I was supposed to be the next victim because he was coming down towards me, sent message to people to tell me come and kill all who did in my house. I was the first person who put all the pictures on social media. I give Mikey never put it up. I sent it on WhatsApp. Anna Augustine, they never did. This thing didn't have to reach there. This thing didn't have to reach there. I tried. I was working with the police. I did try. I did try.
So let me see if I
This
can
boy, he ambushed me many times.
and
I
how
was in
what is the time
hospital.
frame we're looking at? Around what time this happened? How many years we looking at?
Well, I'm talking about 10, Mr. 15 years. Because my son is 15 years. 15 years ago. The little girl who he raped, who was supposed to get the last year jail for is my cousin. She mother died in childbirth, the one who made the video. That's her relative too. Yeah. I'm going through this since my daughter is like 15 years. She's, well, it's cool. Cool taking 31 this year. So think about that. I going through this thing with my daughter since she's 11 years. And I never get no justice from the court or anything. Never whatsoever.
So
Never.
you went to court,
Yeah. And
and
he
what
knocked me out in front of the he knocked me out in front of the magistrate. Like he had a pen
what
in his hand to stab me in my temple where I was sitting. And the pen fall from his hand and he cuffing me in my
in the
temple.
court?
In the court. And I get no justice. No justice whatsoever. No justice.
So you went
My
to
daughter
court.
had to go right home.
He attacked you in the court, and then what
Yeah.
happened after?
Well, I didn't get no justice. They threw off the case, said they didn't have enough evidence against me and my daughter.
What do you mean they didn't have
And
enough evidence?
yeah.
You
Well, he
went to
tried
make
to
a
rape my
police
daughter.
you went to make a police report, and your daughter also made a report that he tried
Yeah,
to.
we was in the court.
So what
We
evidence do
had
you
court.
need? Around what time this
I
happened?
don't know. We had court. We did had court. My daughter had to go the whole of Grenada. My daughter go to 3 secondary school before she could finish school. Think about this. Think about this. 3 secondary school. And my life was never back to the same up to today. When I come from America and he come out, my heart was in my toe because when I was pregnant with my son, it took him 15 years this year. This guy ambushed me 3 times. 3 times. Get no justice. Nothing. Just,
You went to
I
make a
don't want
police
anything.
you went to make a police report, and your
I don't know what to say. Get no justice. Nothing. I can't even function. I don't know. This thing didn't have to reach this so far because I beg. I called him. Maybe he wasn't speaking to me. I get people to call him. I have witness who I get to call him to talk to him. So don't do this. Give up yourself. And he's like, it's me coming for and you have to cut out my head and come and cut it out me and kill all in my house. This is what I was going through. For the last couple of years.
turn down your thing in the background, because I'm
At
hearing
the
you
home,
echoing.
no, the vehicle were passing.
Okay,
I have
so
no music, nothing on.
okay, yeah, I was hearing your voice. So when this happened, did you report it to the police that you're getting threats from the same gentleman?
Well, they know. They know. They knew. They knew everything. They knew everything because I the one who put out the first set of pictures. He was out and he wanted by the police and stuff. I would do it. I do it. I did it. Me and my son to make the public know. And then I made Nike and my Grand Lake. And I have everything on my phone that way. I give Mikey the information and I talk to him and everything. I'm very disappointed. I don't know. People tell me to
I
blame
am
myself, but I
literally
feel like
shaking. I don't even know what. I've never been
I don't know
lost
what.
for words. And to hear that's your family member and that you've made reports and you've had to deal with this all these years and a life has been taken as a result of this same person who has a history, over 19 years of previous convictions, and was let loose into our community. Somebody has to be held responsible for this. I am so sorry that you've had to experience this and have to live with something like this. just goes to show that we do not take these things seriously. We don't. We don't take these things seriously. I am so sorry that you is this your number so I can get in touch with you after?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll get in touch with you after. All right? Thank you so much for calling. Yeah, my heart breaks for you, I swear. I swear. Imagine having to. Is this your number so I can get in touch with you? Yeah, give me a second. I did not. I did not plan. Like I said, this weekend has been filled with women in my inbox echoing similar sentiments and with the same gentleman. Our system has failed. Our system has failed. And before I was like, okay, we can't blame police. We can't blame. But somebody has to take the blame. Somebody has to be held responsible for this man being let out even before his time. Shows this guy is sick. This is a monster. This is not a normal human being who been in and out of prison. You would think, okay, I'm out, let me stay out. Y'all heard the lady herself. Threats to herself and her daughter. They cannot live in peace. At this juncture, when we doing chemical castration, when we bringing back hanging, when are we bringing back hanging and chemical castration, or removing some men, removing your private parts, removing your hand so you cannot lift your hand again to hurt another woman, and you cannot use your private part again because you do not have either one of them? Live with that. Drag on the ground if you have to use the bathroom because you have no hands. Like how dogs drag after they do their business, drag. How do we sit back now, hearing what we just heard, and not get angry and not want to do something? Our system failed us. It failed with a capital F. From the minute time I read the transcript from that court and saw that this man has been in and out of prison, and then was it last week? We had a lawyer on TV happy to announce that his client got time off, and a client that is convicted, accused of rape, happy to announce. What are we doing? And it's no wonder some of them can't speak because they know. What are we doing? Stiffer penalties for violent crimes against women must be mandatory. Enough of the light sentences. Enough of this revolving door justice. You go in, you go up in the hotel, you come back out, up and down. Violent crimes, rape, strangulation, domestic abuse, threats must carry mandatory sentences. Strangulation especially must be treated as the serious warning it is, because globally we know this. If someone strangles once, the risk of murder skyrockets. This is not opinion, this is evidence. is monitoring these people that we let out? Risk-based monitoring for violent offenders should be a must. Yes, we understand not every offender is the same, but those with violent histories must be actively monitored. You don't need to be a lawyer to know this. You don't need to have no degree to know this. And as much as we talk about, America this and America that is one thing I would always stand up and say, I love the American justice system for when it concerns crimes to do with sex. You are immediately, doesn't matter if you're first time, second time, the one time you do it, you are a predator, you are a sex offender, you are on the list. You cannot go around children. You cannot go in areas where children are. You cannot be in contact with anybody that you molested or whatever the case might be. You wear ankle monitors. You need permission to live. We understand that not every offender is the same, but those with violent histories must be monitored. Mandatory check-ins, supervision, and there should be immediate consequences for breaches. Public safety cannot be optional. Public safety, and that is how this case was treated with this gentleman. It was optional. You released and nobody said anything. Nobody said anything. We have to get to a place where women understand that reporting abuse must not feel more dangerous than staying silent. There are so many women who are victims of rape and molestation and they are silent because one, they live in fear, just like how the lady said a while ago. They are threatened by the perpetrators. If you do this, you say anything, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to unalive. They say it. Reporting abuse must not feel more dangerous than staying silent. That means we need faster response times. We need protective orders that are enforced, because there's no point you going and get a protection order against you and the person still still ignores it. Like it must be enforced. The minute time you breach it, you come within certain feet, the person sees you, you call the police, they're picked up. There must be consequences when threats are made, not after violence happens, because it starts with a threat. A woman, we should not have to die. A woman should not have to die for her fear to be taken seriously. And we cannot wait until men are grown to have these conversations. What are you all saying to your young boys, to your sons? Are you teaching them about emotional regulation, respecting boundaries? Are you teaching them about accountability and conflict resolution? A lot of you are aware that you have brothers, you have uncles, you have fathers, and you harbor them. You don't say anything. A lot of you are aware of it happening in your homes. A lot of you who are bosses are guilty of doing that. And the woman feels she has no choice. She needs the dollar at the end of the day. She has bills to pay. So it's either she do it or she go home hungry. Why are you all acting as though there's some kind of sex demon or y'all have a sex monster or something raging? If you cannot use your hand, use something. There are toys. Go make yourself. Why is it you feel the need to rape someone? And like I said, until it hits close to home, we won't take it seriously. As a man, you will never know what it feels like to be taken against your will. It breaks you. And I said this on the Bob Report yesterday, and I'm going to repeat it. Sometimes you are in a relationship, and there are days you don't feel like having sexual intercourse with your partner. But they keep nagging, and, wouldn't stop touching you, and you're like, you know what? Let me just do it for you to leave me alone. And you do it and you still feel so, you can't just rush to shower because you feel defiled, So imagine somebody with a gun or a knife pointed at them being told to remove your clothing. And then this person have their way with them for how long? And you can't do anything. Sometimes death is easier than having to deal with that, and life after being raped. How much clearer of a picture do we have to paint? Who else has to get hurt? And like I said, at the end of the day, outrage without action changes nothing. We can sit here and bray until the cows come home, because that's what we do a lot of the times. We talk about it, 2 days, we move. Outrage without action changes nothing. And it cannot be the same voices all the time asking for change or making their voices be heard. It cannot be the same handful of people. I cannot be the only one speaking all the time. There are other women who do it, but we cannot be the same ones. There are so many of you women out there. There are men as well. Because so many are reaching out to me and saying, oh, well, we'll lead the charge. And I'm like, why don't you lead and let me be part of it? So if nobody do anything, nothing happens. We cannot just be outraged without action. It changes absolutely nothing. We have to organize, not just post a status and then we move. Petitions, community forums, y'all on social media every day beating up over green, yellow, NNP, NDC, movement, GOLP. Every single day, some of you, you're allowed 365 days of the year. There are some of you who are championing the cause of political parties. And you guys don't champion the cause for women who are raped, who are molested, sexual violence, sexual abuse, domestic violence. Y'all would not leave one day out of the 365 and say, you know what? The rest of the days is for politics. This one day, I'm going to use it to champion. Y'all don't do that. The same energy y'all put into politics on every given day, first thing in the morning, last thing in the night. How come y'all don't put that sort of energy into stuff like this? How come? So we have to not just post. There's community forums, letters, demand meetings with our MPs, ministers, policymakers. Noise matters, but organized noise matters more. Noise matters, but organized noise matters more. And we need to, not I want, we need to push for harsher sentencing for violent crimes. How the maximum and you're getting the minimum? So then what is the point you have maximum? Mr. Ferguson was asked the question yesterday, and up to this point he cannot respond. Has anyone ever been given the maximum penalty for rape? He went up, he come back, he went across, and the normal conclusion to draw is no. No one has ever received the maximum penalty for rape in this country. Harsher sentencing for violent crimes, clearer domestic violence laws, and there must be mandatory risk assessments for repeat offenders. Yes, if somebody offend once and you see they make the necessary changes, they've gone through their therapy and you see they're doing better. They even gone into advocating and teaching and to you. Fine, wonderful. But when we have repeat offenders and nobody says anything. So to the officials, what are you changing specifically to prevent the next death? I'm using radio. What about everybody's on social media? We have X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, you name it. Is this going to be a case of today we done, tomorrow we done? Or are we going to keep the conversation alive after the trending moment passes? Because what we fail to realize is silence is how systems avoid accountability. We have to hold our leaders accountable. When are the reforms coming? What are the timelines? Who is responsible if nothing changes? Y'all fail to realize that public pressure works when it's consistent. It has to be consistent. Nobody takes you serious if you come today and talk about something, and then you're gone for the rest of the year and then you come back. Who's taking you serious? But if it is consistent, they have to pay attention. They have to take it seriously. And you can do your part in your community. Call out abusive behavior when you see it, when you hear it, and stop protecting good men who do bad things. Miss McQueen said it yesterday. You have people from the church standing up in court and testifying that so-and-so is a good person in the church and he loves God. And we do not care who he loves. The fact remains he committed a crime. He is a rapist. How do you stand up with your whole chest and watch a man who has raped a woman and say that's a good man? What are we really doing? How are you in church and you're going and stand up in the court to testify that this person is a good person because they come to church? Good people also do bad things. Now let me come back to the young man one last time. You are not being attacked. You are being called up. We need you to be better, not defensive. And I'm seeing a defense here about what about women that do men? Look at the statistics and see how many women kill men. Look at the stats. We ain't saying men are not abused, but the conversation is not about that today. We don't care about that today. Today we care about a life that was lost, that was taken. Not lost, that was taken. Because our system failed to notify the public. As a matter of fact, he should not have even been out listen to what the lady said, how much, 10, 15 years. This young man has been terrorizing her and her daughter, and there are countless other women. And somebody saw it fit to release him back into society, even after the prosecution stated, Mr. Pinnock from the prosecution stated, this person does not show signs of rehabilitation. So who in their wisdom thought it was best to release him, knowing his history? So we ain't attacking y'all. Like I said, if you're uncomfortable, that's because you have a reason to be uncomfortable. If you ain't do nothing, you ain't have nothing to worry about. We need y'all to be better, not defensive. We need you to be allies. We need you to be allies, not just bystanders and defending. We need you to challenge each other when lines are crossed, because silence from good men gives cover to dangerous ones. And there are too many of you silent on this matter and have been silent on previous matters. And there's only one explanation for this, for your silence. That means you are guilty. Yours has not been publicized, or it was not reported. Because I can't think of anything else other than guilt that has so many of you men quiet and silent. And the fact that this young, promising lady who was showing signs of success, going to school to become a nurse. So we understand if y'all can't talk. But if you know you did, now it's time for you to stop. Silence from good men gives cover to dangerous ones. So for all you staying silent, we need you to speak. To those of you with sons, and I've seen too many instances of young boys, the way they speak to young ladies, the way they react. There was a video not so long ago circulating with 2 or 3 young men with a young lady in their uniforms, and the way they were acting. At the end of the day, as the day moves on, let us not allow this to become just another tragedy we get used to. Let it become the moment we demand accountability, reform, real consequences, and cultural change. Because one life lost is already too many. And if we do nothing, then we are all complicit if we do absolutely nothing. And before we move on this morning, because I gotta go, I need to say this plainly again. A young woman is dead, not because we lack laws, but because we lack enforcement, urgency, and courage. We cannot keep waiting for women to die before we act. We cannot keep pretending violence appears out of nowhere. And we cannot keep prioritizing comfort over safety. Young men, it's not about shame, it's about responsibility. How you handle anger, how you handle rejection, how you handle power, those choices matter. And again, I'm making a call to our leaders and our decision makers. The public is watching. We are done with statements. We are demanding action. Review the laws, tighten the penalties, monitor repeat offenders, protect victims before, not after. And to the rest of us, do not let this fade. Do not let this become background noise. Do not let silence do the work of violence. Change does not start in Parliament alone. It starts when people refuse to accept the status quo. One life lost is already too many. And if nothing changes after this, then we need to ask ourselves, who are we protecting, who we are protecting, and at whose expense? Yeah? That's the question. We're not done yet. We're coming back again tomorrow. Because there are so many different... Today we were speaking to the men and women, to the men and young boys. Tomorrow we move the conversation. We're not done yet. System failed. This young lady did not deserve to die, did not have to die. System failed. Somebody has to be held responsible. Yeah? I gotta go, guys. It's way past my time. Like I said, we're coming back again. Yeah, Esther's Law in Carriacou. What happened to that? Ariabola and so many others. The list is on my page. The list of women who have died at the hands of men. What are we doing? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for powering up. And I shall see you guys again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Alright? Somebody has to be held accountable. To everyone on the live, listening via radio, we shall be back tomorrow, God's will. Alright? Thanks so much for listening, guys.